Paul was an adventurer. He was a free spirit. He wasn't afraid of anything. My son and I were very close. Paul started getting sick. And about 9 months later, he went into the hospital because he just felt so bad. And it turned out that he had an enlarged heart. They say that some type of a virus had attacked his heart, came in and out of his body and left his heart damaged, and he would need a heart transplant. Paul was transferred from the Glen Burnie Hospital up to University of Maryland Critical Care Unit to where he was waiting a heart transplant. The waiting period was very difficult for Paul. As you can imagine, spending 24 hours a day in a hospital room would be. He was a resident patient for a little over 9 months before a heart was finally received. It was August the 1st, 1996 that he received his heart. We all went up there and they got him all prepped and he was really excited. They had the donor heart there and they performed the surgery, which only took 4.5 hours. It made a difference immediately. His color started coming back. He felt a little better. The recovery period was less than 10 days before he came home. He had to take lots of medicine, which they had to tweak, but it was only a couple weeks before he was out driving and enjoying himself. It was a wonderful gift that we received. There's a lot of medications you have to take when you have a heart transplant or any transplant for rejection. Then, of course, you have to have biopsies of the heart. And between these two things, they try to tweak the medications. So rejection isn't necessarily a part of what you have to go through. But unfortunately, Paul did go through episodes of that rejection, and they had to tweak his medicines. After a period of time, these medications do damage to your body. It was about 7.5 years later, Paul started to lose his teeth. The hips started to degenerate, and he just didn't feel good at all. I knew at Christmas time that Paul wasn't long for this world because he just looked bad. He really wasn't having rejection anymore. It was just that his body was just deteriorating. And in May of 2004, he went down on the 25th of May, meaning he collapsed. We didn't know it at the time, but Paul had a massive heart attack. Of course, they tried everything in their power to, help him and to turn things around, but it was really too late. Then his body had just had enough. And he passed away on the 28th of May. It really caught me by surprise because I didn't realize either that heart transplants didn't last forever. When he was pronounced, that he'd passed, I didn't know what I was going to do because it was my baby boy. Parents usually don't have to bury their children. As I left the hospital, I went by my work to let them know what had happened. Not only could I not understand things, but I just wanted the world to slow down and let me get past this. Let me deal with this. Just stop for a while. But that isn't how things work. Things go on as they're supposed to. I felt I had to be strong for my children as well as my grandchildren. But I just had this feeling like I was totally lost. I really wasn't sure whether I wanted to go on because I just felt like everything was taken away from me at that moment in time. Even though I didn't really want to go on, I knew that I had to for my children and my grandchildren. I just prayed that the Lord would show me what to do, how to heal, how to just feel better as part of His will. And my prayers were answered, as our prayers always are. First thing I did was realize that Paul's journey was not my journey, that his life had been, between him and his Lord, and mine is going to go on until my purpose is done. I decided that the best thing for me to do was to get involved and serve, and I just started putting out feelers to see what I really wanted to do. An opportunity came for me that I could volunteer at a halfway house called Nick's Place. That's what I did, and I still do. Nick's Place is a recovery house for addicts ages 20 to 26. Usually by the time these kids get to Nick's Place, they've really hit bottom. Once they have 30 days clean, they would come to the house, and they can stay for a year, and they really learn how to live back in society again. They go to meetings every day. The staff teaches them about saving money and relying on themselves and just being who they really are. Ray McVicker, who started this facility, lost her son to addiction. And one of the things that her son had told her was there was no place for people his age in recovery. So she started this place, and it's been going now for 14 years. I thought this would be a great place to volunteer because I like kids, I like the youth. I go over there on Mondays and Wednesdays and I cook dinner. I take care of the food pantry. And it's really nice to be involved with all the kids and see how they grow and see how they become men and just prosper. Volunteering at Nick's Place and watching the guys reach their full potential has brought me joy and helped me to move on from the loss of my child. God has given me great peace now. I realize that my journey involves serving, because without serving others, I leave a big hole within me. I know with the hope that the Lord gives me that we're going to be okay. I might not always like things the way they are, but I know that He has the master plan. Greater is He who is in me than he who's in the world. God has been so good to me. I don't know where I would be without Him. I know that He will continue to be with me, and I know that everything's going to be okay. I'm Ruth Birch, and I'm all in.